think just because you trust in God, everything's gonna be all right? You ain't read this book. You're gonna start to experience your worst time when you start following these laws, following these commandments. You're gonna be afflicted. Get ready for it. That's why we have Sabbath class. I'm trying to make sure I get your body battle tested, battle ready. But most people can't stand up and get nothing because they ain't even reading. Don't be calling me, telling me, oh, Jeff, what did this? Something similar, what the Ten Commandments at? You call me and ask me that in Scripture. I'm not going to say you call me and ask me, something you're trying to understand, but you can Google that and find out what Ten Commandments is. Just lazy. You cannot be lazy in this. Like I said before, affliction gonna come, y'all. It's gonna come. Let's go to Luke chapter 22 and verse 31. Satan trying to kill us all day long. And God shows you, I like the way he shows us in the scripture how the disciples struggle. The ones that walk with him every day. I like that because it should give me a little hope. Now, if these cats walk with God and Jesus every day and they struggle, what do you think gonna happen to you and me? Let's look at Peter, verse 31. Go ahead.
And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
Satan wants you, boy. That he may want to kill you. Because he know Peter was the first one to minister Cornelius and brought the first Gentile inside the church when it appeared to him in Acts chapter 10. That's right. He told him, he said, Satan wants you. But listen to what Jesus said right here. Go ahead.
But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not.
Yes, sir.
And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brother.
See, he said, I pray for you, that your faith fail not. Most people don't understand that when your faith fails, you make bad decisions. You start leaning to the flesh. You start trusting in other people that are not going by this word. That's when your faith fails. Oh, my husband ain't acting right. My wife ain't acting right. Where your faith at? In them or God? That's what people don't understand. Leave them. Leave them where they at. That's why I tell people, leave them where they at. Kids, parents, husband, wife, everybody. Leave them. What did Jesus say when they were going to a funeral? And he said, look, y'all got an opportunity to follow me, follow me. He said, well, let me go bury my father. He said, let the dead bury the dead. You follow me. They dead men and women walking if they don't want to do according to this book. Understand that. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 33. And he said unto him, Lord, I am ready to go with thee.
Yes, sir.
Both into prison and to death. And he said, I tell thee, Peter, the cock shall not crow this day before thou shalt twice deny that thou knowest me.
He said, Peter, you sounded good right now saying that you're going to walk with me in prison and death. He said, but you're going to deny me before that rooster crow 3 times. This man here walked with Jesus. That's why Jesus had to pray to the Father for him, because Satan going to kill him. What the book said, when you deny Christ before men, he going to deny you before his Father.
That's right.
Let me show you that what happened to Peter. Let's go to Matthew chapter 26 and verse 57. He said, I had to go and pray to the Lord. So he wouldn't let Satan kill him. Trouble all the way around the corner, especially when you're doing the truth. Especially because when you're not following the laws of God, you're not following the commandments, Satan say, you on my side. I ain't got to worry about you. I go to somebody else who's trying to tell somebody the truth. You on my side. You ain't swine, you ain't catfish, you going to church on the Sunday, you celebrate Christmas, you celebrate all this stuff that ain't written. So why I'm spending my time on you? Matthew chapter 26 and verse 57. When you serve God, trouble always going to be around. Let's go a little deeper than what Peter did. Go ahead, brother, verse 57.
And they that had laid hold on Jesus led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled.
Now this is the time when Jesus was supposed to be crucified. They took him, put him in jail, about to crucify him. But go ahead.
But Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace,
Yes, sir.
and went in and sat with the servants to see the end.
Hold on, let me read 56 first. Go back up to 56 and read that again. I think y'all need to hear this. 56, go ahead.
But all this was done that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled.
Go ahead.
Then all the disciples forsook him and fled.
All the disciples forsook him and fled. Because when the time of trouble came, all the disciples left. And he told them that this was going to come. So he had to pray for Peter, especially. But listen what he said right here. Go ahead. Keep reading.
And they that had laid hold on Jesus led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled.
Go ahead.
But Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace, and went in and sat with the servant to see the end.
Understand? Peter followed me. He said, I want to see what he took him. He just run all the way away. But listen what happened. Go ahead.
Now the chief priests and elders and all the council sought false witness against Jesus to put him to death.
This is when they tried to put him to death. They couldn't find nothing that Jesus did was wrong, period. But understand that Jesus already told us in the scriptures, all the way in the Old Testament, New Testament, that he got to die. He got to die. This is fulfilled in the scriptures. But listen what he said. Jump down to verse 69. Verse 69. And see what happened to Peter. Remember what Jesus said? Now he's going to deny him before the rooster crow 3 times. Before the rooster crow, he's going to deny him 3 times. Verse 69, go ahead.
Now Peter sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, Thou also was with Jesus of Galilee.
Now Peter was sitting out, he like, hey, you Peter, you with Jesus. Listen what Peter said.
But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what thou sayest.
So I don't know who you talking about. I don't with no Jesus. That's what I'm telling you. You can't trust yourself. In the time of trouble, believe me, you better have your faith in these words and these scriptures, because your faith's going to be tested. Go ahead.
And when he was gone out unto the porch, another maid saw him and said unto them that were there, This fellow was also with Jesus of Nazareth.
There go another woman say, hey, you with Jesus. Go ahead.
And again he denied with an oath, I do not know the man.
See what I'm saying? I like most of us come up, we hear stuff, people saying sin, they don't say nothing. You held accountable for that because you heard it. You got to tell them the truth. And they said, I don't. Peter said, I'm denying the man. I deny him. I don't know him. Well, Peter gonna get bad with this thing. Keep rolling.
And after a while came unto him they that stood by and said to Peter, Surely thou art also one of them, for thy speech bewrayeth thee.
Go ahead.
Then began to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man, and immediately the cock crowed.
Peter said, I don't know that blanking and blank man. He cussing. And Jesus told him, before the rooster crow, you're going to deny me 3 times. How many times is that? 3. That's why I tell you, don't trust yourself. Always trust in this book. Do the right thing according to the book. People and yourself will lead you wrong every time when you start leaning to your own understanding, especially when you're trying to save your behind. Because Peter already knew they were going to do Jesus, they were going to kill him. But what he told Jesus, I'm going to go to you with through death and prison. 3 times he denied. Go ahead.
And Peter remembered the words of Jesus.
See, he remembered what Jesus told him now. Go ahead.
Which said unto him, Before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me twice. And he went out and wept bitterly.
He said, for the crop, y'all should deny me thrice, 3 times. Before that rooster crowed, he denied it. Like I said, don't sit up and try to, I tell people, don't impress me. Because I'm not the one who need to be impressed. You better impress the Father and the Son. Because he the one do the judging. Understand that. You come to church all day and all night, but if you don't do what thus says the Lord in this Bible, and especially don't deny, it ain't gonna benefit you. It ain't. Let's go ahead. Let's go back. Let's go to Job. Let's go to Job chapter 1. Job, God come at the best of them, boy. He tried the best of them. Most of all, he used Satan to make sure that you say who you say you are. Don't fake the funk on me. Ain't got no heaven, ain't got no lake of fire to put you in. You're not following me, I keep stressing that. You follow what the Lord said. He said, be here on the Sabbath day. This is what we doing. This ain't what Jeff said. Jeff just a willing vessel. That's it. I'm just reading to make you see what I see to my best ability. Job chapter 1 and verse 6. God allows pain. He allows pain, like you say, to battle test you. And believe me, Job went through more pain than I think anybody went through in his Bible. It's a lot. So we're going to look at him and see how God, who he trusts. We're going to look at him and see who did he trust in. Verse 6, go ahead.
Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them.
Oh, Satan came too? Satan, he all over the world. He from back and forth, back and forth. He trying to come and see what's going on. He presented himself to him. To the Lord. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, whence cometh thou?
Where you been, Satan? Tell me where you been. They ain't talking to him. Jesus talking to him. Go ahead.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
So understand, Satan all the way around. He's sitting right up in here right now. People don't understand that. They think that, hey, we protected all along. Ain't no devil's going to be nowhere. Satan is everywhere, especially he around us, because we trying to make sure we tell the truth. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that fears God and escheweth evil.
Well, that's a pretty high title you put on Job, boy. Have you considered my servant Job? Look at it. Look what he's doing. A lot of times people understand when God considers you, he's going to put you through the test. He's going to make sure that you understand. He's going to make sure that he understands that you are with him instead of trusting in people, possession, and things. Well, go ahead. This is what happened to Job.
Verse 9. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, does Job fear God for naught?
Like, Job don't fear you for nothing. You give him everything. Job one of the richest men in the Bible. Go ahead.
Has not thou made an hedge around about him, and about his house, and about all that he had on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land.
Satan said, you don't put a hedge around him. He got them angels around him. Can't nothing get in. Dude, he said, he don't fear you for nothing. Let me have him, and I'll show you how he'll curse you to their face. So God finna put Job to the test through Satan. Go ahead.
But put forth thine hand now, touch all that he has, and he will curse thee to thy face.
Then what he said, he goes, put your hand to him. Who hand? God hand, because God got his hand on you. If he take his hand off you, make sure he gonna send Satan to test you. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he has is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan,
Go ahead.
so Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord.
Satan left out there. Ooh, I got a job now. I got to go get it. I got to go get it. God gave me the opportunity, but I want to make sure you understand this. Who gave you the permission? God. So Satan can't operate on his own. When you're not doing what God say, God take his hands off you. I ain't saying all the time. I'm not saying that this particular time with Satan and Job, he's just trying to try Job to see where he at. Try him. You're gonna be tried. You're gonna have trouble. You're gonna go through things just to see where your faith, who you trusting in. Job didn't fail. Now look what Satan did to him. Go ahead.
13. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house.
Go ahead.
And there came a messenger unto Job and said, The oxen were plying and the asses feeding beside them.
Go ahead.
And the Sabines fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
So he went and just killed all this cattle, these Sabian people. Killed all this cattle. That's money. Animals and livestock, that's money back in the day. He killed all that. Go ahead. That's Satan's first thing he did to him. Go ahead.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, The fire of God is fallen from heaven, and has burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
So he killed all his servants. Go ahead.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, The Chaldeans made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels and have carried them away. Yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped.
So he killing everything Job got. Everything. That's enough. Well, keep going.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, Thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in thy eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house. And it fell upon the young men, and they all dead.
So he done killed all his sons now. Fell upon our great wind and killed all his sons. That'll flip me out. You kill my kids. It'll make you think, like, man, what is going on? But Job was a very wise man in these scriptures. But go ahead.
And
verse 20.
Yes. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped.
He worshipped. You see what he did here? He didn't just say, well, God taking all this stuff away from me, you must don't love me. Forget you, God. No, he worshiped. And that's what most people got to understand in this world, because you go through some trouble. You don't just turn your back on the one that had the keys of death and life in his hand. You understand? We got to go through this. Go ahead, brother.
And say, Naked came out of my mother's womb.
Yes, sir.
And naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
See what he said? The Lord give it, and the Lord take it away. He controlled it all. But if your mind's so set upon possession, kids, wife, people, and all this stuff, you would turn your back against God because you love them more than you love God. Go ahead, brother.
In all this Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly.
He ain't charging foolishly. He didn't just come as he was start talking foolishly in God, because he knows how powerful this spirit being in him. He knows it. But Satan wouldn't do. Keep going to chapter 2, verse 1. Go ahead.
Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord.
So he coming again. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence cometh thou? Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. And still he holdeth fast his integrity.
He holdeth fast his what? His trust. Holding fast, integrity, same, nothing for trust in God. He didn't waver, cause all this stuff went down. He said, this God, he can do whatever he wants to do. He created all this. He holding fast his integrity. Go ahead.
Although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause.
Who moving against him? God moved Satan against him. He gonna try you. But one thing about Job, he ain't trusting man. He ain't even trusting himself. He's trusting them scriptures. He understands. God gave this and he'll take it away. It's his to give, it's his to take away. But if you got your trust in these possessions, these things, these people, the money, that's your God. That's your God. Go ahead, let's see what happened.
Verse 4. And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man have will he give for his life.
Let me touch his skin, Lord. Let me get some pain on his body. And he'll curse you then. Listen what the Lord said. Go ahead.
But put forth thy hand now, touch his bones and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life.
Ooh-wee. God said, go ahead. Satan said, God said, go ahead, do what you got to do, but just don't kill him. God said, just don't kill him. He in your hand. I don't know if I want God to put me on the chopping block like that. But I'm telling you, when you get into this world, you always going to be faced with trouble. He's trying to see if you're going to go with him or you're going to go with the word because you feel a little pain on your behind. Right. Stuff ain't going right for you. You ain't got enough money. You ain't got a car. You ain't got a house. You ain't got all this stuff. But most of all, you don't understand what you got is this word. We trying to be God. And you worry about a car. You worry because you eat a hot dog every day. Eat it and be content. Worry about clothes, because I gotta wear this same pair of jeans twice in 1 month, twice in 1 week. You got clothes. I mean, we ain't even coming up to half of this. None of this stuff Job went through. At least I have. I can't speak for y'all. I have. But go ahead. Listen what he say here, verse 7.
So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord.
Yes, sir.
And smote Job with sore bores from the sole of his foot unto his crown.
Well, he put sores all over from his head to his toe. He got sores on. Go ahead.
And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself with them, and he sat down among the ashes.
Go ahead.
Then said his wife unto him, Doest thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die.
You see what this foolish woman said? The enemies of your own household, I'm telling you now. Curse God and die. What's wrong with you? Understand that I'm just trying to point this out because a lot of times that can be a husband too. Just like Peter did. He denied him 3 times. And Jesus told him he's going to deny him. Read that again.
Then said his wife unto him, Doest thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die.
Go ahead.
But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaking.
He said, You're a foolish woman. Can we receive the good things of God and not the bad? Understand that. We got to go through this thing. And believe me, Satan went through all kinds of vessels now. He did it with Eve. He did it with Adam and Eve. And he's doing it with Job. Go ahead.
What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips.
So you got to understand that he ain't sin at all because he's going through all this, man. He did. He stayed in his integrity. He trusted him. And like Peter dropped the ball, Job's wife dropped the ball by saying what she said. Same thing, just in different books. Go ahead.
Now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place. Eliphaz, the Temanite, and Bildad, the Shunamite, and Zophar, the Naamite. For they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him and to comfort him.
There go his three friends coming up like, man, we heard what went down with Job. He lost it all. Now we got to go up and see this for ourselves. See this for us. You know how it is, man. When you're on top, you got things going, next thing you fall, and your closest friends will tell you, you must have sinned against God. No, you ain't got to sin against God. It's just certain things you're going to go through as a servant of God. Things just don't go smoothly because you are doing this law or following this commandment. It's going to get rough. Just like Job, he said he assured thee. He didn't sin not. But look what he went through. Go ahead.
And when they lift up their eyes afar off and knew him not, they lift up their voice and wept.
They looked at Job and they said, man, we can't even figure you. We don't even know what you look like because you don't look like the same man we knew years past. You got sores all over your face from the head to toe. You don't look like they weeping because they're like, man, this is our friend. Look at the pain he's going through. Go ahead.
And they rent everyone his mantle and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward heaven.
Go ahead.
So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great.
They seen it. Well, understand that. One thing about it, don't condemn a person because they're going through something. It ain't that just that they did anything wrong against God. He getting them ready for something. Let's go to Job chapter 32 and verse 1. When people see people struggling every time, oh man, look at it. That's what you get. God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly. You don't even know what's going on. And most of all, you condemn yourself for putting judgment on that person because you don't know what God's doing for him. And God gonna deal with these friends for speaking against Job. Job 32, we're gonna start at verse 1. Go ahead.
So these 3 men ceased to answer Job because he was righteous in his own eyes.
Now understand it with Job, 30 and 31, read on your time, on your own time. They came in asking Job questions. Man, what wrong? What happened? What went down? Why you like this right here? So Job ran everything down. Meaning that I just can't receive the goodness of God and not the bad side of God. He started telling them all this. He said, can y'all answer this for me? Why I'm going through this? None of them could answer. But they were speaking bad against Job. Speaking bad against him. So don't put your mouth on the man of God now if you don't know what's going on. Come on. And a lot of people do that. Look at him. He had this, now look at him. He's down at the bottom of the barrel now. But go ahead, this is what happened now. Job, God don't deal with these friends of Job.
Then was kindled the wrath of Elihu, the son of Barachel, the Buzite of the kindreds of Ram. Against Job was his wrath kindled, because he justified himself rather than God.
He justified himself rather than God. Go ahead.
Also, against his 3 friends was his wrath kindled, because they had found no answer and yet had condemned Job.
See, when you don't know what's going on, but you condemn it, these 3 friends that know what's going on with Job and what God and Satan had going on. They didn't know what was going on, but God knew what he was trying to do. He was making sure he was strengthened. This pain is not always bad. And I tell people that you got to be a friend with pain. Even my son, when he hit his leg on something, I was watching suck it up and shake it off. Pain. Some people get hit on the leg or foot, they have a heart attack. Just because they stumped the toe. Look at all this stuff happening to Job. If anybody should have had a heart attack, he should. So make pain as a friend. But God gonna deal with these friends because they condemned Job not knowing what was going down. Go ahead.
Now Elihu had waited until Job had spoken because they were elder than he.
Cause he was pretty smart. He like, I'm gonna wait. He like, the elder was older than him, so he gonna wait. But go ahead.
When Elihu saw that there was no answer in the mouth of these three men, then his wrath was kindled.
Yes, sir.
And
they didn't have an answer to this, so he got mad.